G'day, hi and welcome. All right, burn a little better than I anticipated. I can hear my cousin up there. My nephew just laughed, just right when we were getting to the good part. Uh, yeah, he saw me coming down this morning. He's like, "Can I come with you?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Come on." Yeah. So we walked to the store, got my provisions, and I set this up. I'm gonna burn some stuff today. I don't know how much I'll get burnt, but as long as it doesn't get too windy, I can get some of it gone. Every little bit helps. So I got him to grab me the shovel, got him to grab me that. He grabbed some brush from behind the shed for me. So he brought that down, some of that. We collected the nuts from the squirrel. You could hear him still, he's cursing me out there. He's like, "You stole my damn nuts." And yeah, so anyway, I was like, okay, I'm going to show you that. I taught him about mold. I showed him the mold spots and what it is and what causes it and everything like that. Taught him about airflow, of how you got to have the house flowing the air. And then I was going to show him the chainsaws, and I had that, and I was getting rid of some of the stupid briars. I said the proper name is stupid briars. He threw one at me, stuck to my middle of my back. He was laughing. He got a good kick out of it. It took a while to dig it out of my shoulder blades, though, like with a little briar like that. He got me really good. It's pretty funny on that. So it's like I'm starting to rub off on him with pranks and stuff like that. He's not quite there yet because he's still like an innocent child. He doesn't have my demeanor of badness yet or mischievousness. Eh, Just back up. That's kind of warm there. That is really warm there. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna get as much of this burnt, but I gotta cut that up. Got the chainsaws. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna teach you about the chainsaws. I think what was happening was the fun was starting to look too much like work, and I'm gonna go home now. It's like okay, but he helped me water my plants. Taught him about that, stuff like that. But I want to show him the chainsaw. I'm not gonna let him use him, the big one there. I might guide him on the little one at some point there, but just to show him how it starts, how to the what kind of gas goes in it, stuff like that. You got to do that with kids, like get them interested in stuff because they don't appreciate it usually right away, but a little later on, it just seems like it's like when they get just a little bit older, like he's 12 right now, but when he's 15, it's like, okay, can you do this? Oh yeah, I can do this. Oh, I know about this. Oh, I know about that. Like it just, oh, I understand that. And then just get them, if you can get them curious enough to like go after it, like take initiative and learn themselves, then they end up, they could do anything, right? Because like my nephew's like, oh, okay, thanks for teaching me about the airflow and the mold. Yeah, airflow. You guys, I told you guys, hearing that word a lot. And he was like, thanks for teaching me about the airflow and the mold and all that stuff. Because if I ever build a house, I'll need to know that. I said, yeah, exactly. But it's just the fact that he's thinking, okay, well, there's an application for this, right? It's not just his crazy uncle just, spewing stuff. Well, I do that too, but, you know, there's more to it than just that. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna let that burn a little bit down to some coals, and I'll just start lobbing some of this stuff on there. I think I got to get my other chainsaw cam going. I think that's I got to sharpen my chainsaw. I cut up a dock yesterday with the 400, and it cut fine and everything like that. But I saw one spark, so I might have nicked the nail. I don't think I hit it because it didn't. When you hit a nail, you know. but sometimes you'll. But I've seen that saw. This is the first saw I've ever seen it do it, and I've run quite a few different saws in my life, right? But this saw, for some reason, like it'll spark on wood. I don't know if it's just the chain pitch or if it's just the RPMs I'm at, but I've seen it twice where I've gotten ambers off of the just wood. It's a really weird thing. I know that exists and stuff like that. That's why I don't run like bark boxes and stuff, free flowing stuff like that, because I don't want to light the bush on fire, right? I've kind of went a little crazy with that, to be honest with you. I think we're gonna be fine. I got all the safety stuff here. Got some free cinder blocks yesterday. Whenever I do build my chicken coops and stuff, I'm gonna cut some of that up, burn a little bit more of that, and then I'm gonna get into the brush cutting. I brought my Charvel down today. That's really cool. Yeah, so good morning for it anyway. If I can get some of that burnt up by today and tomorrow, I'll be really happy with that. We got most of the brush gone. I gotta bust it. I'll break it all. Just gotta break it all. And all that brush over there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it right into like piles in the middle of the field. this field here, and once it starts snowing, I'm just going to burn little piles at a time, and that'll do good for my grass too. Holy smokes, what did I created a monster there? And I thought, oh, okay, I'm not going to fill it up too much. And I didn't. Like, I didn't do what I would normally do and just like pack it tight. But I guess I put more in there than I thought. It's not going to burn long because most of that's that old door, just like the thin veneer stuff. But I really wanted to show my nephew about the chainsaws today. Yeah. And the brush cutter, just to show him how it works, or just so he can see it go zing, zing, zing. Yeah, because I'm trying to plant the idea in his head, instead of college, running a business, right? So, like, I explain things in such a manner that it'll just get the framework done that, oh, if you run a business, you got to do this, or you got to be like this. Because he's always asked me when I make a phone call, he's like, oh, are you calling your clients? He's already asking me that stuff, right? And again, he's 12. So it's like, yeah, I got to call my clients. You always have to be punctual. Your reputation is before your tools, before your skill level, your reputation is everything, right? And the best way to maintain good reputation is you have to follow up with the customers. And anything you do, you always do it to the best of your ability. That kind of thing. Yeah, so I'll let that burn down a little bit, then I'll throw more in there. Cut some of that up, but I got to get my chainsaw cam going. I'm not going to cut these trees. I would like to cut that one, though. Just to say I'm murdering something. We saw the bags and I got 3 bodies in there. He's like, no, there's not bodies. He's like, yeah, you know, at first he used to take everything I said seriously. Now he's kind of like, oh yeah, no, Uncle Jeju's just being Uncle Jeju and joking and saying silly stuff. Yeah, most of the time that is me. Yep. That is really pretty good. Yeah, so anyway. Let's go have a look at my tools. I swear to God, the way the sound travels there from up there, it sounds like the girls are like, my cousin's little girls are just like right at the barns. I mean, they could be. I wouldn't be able to see them in all that. I can imagine they'll be playing down there as soon as they get that all clear. There'll be kids in there all the time going through stuff, and it's like kid-proof everything. It's like, that's what I did when I was a kid. So it's like, well, just don't hurt yourselves. Just don't fall off the top of the barn. You know. It's like, what happens is they tell you, okay, don't go up in the loft because you're going to fall through and die. Okay. And then they catch you doing it, and they're like, okay, you're not supposed to do that. And they catch you again. It's like, okay, well, just be careful when you're up there. Like the boundary always moves, right? Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to change blades on my brush cutter. And I'm going to change to the brand spanking newy Dewey blade. It's supposed to be really hot today, so I'm going to get all that. I don't want to do a lot of work today, but I do want to get moving on stuff because I do spend the morning doing that kind of stuff outside. Dig out the back wall a bit more. I showed my nephew the back wall and explained it to him, you know, where the water was coming into his room and how and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, okay. So it's like, and I told him like how to, you know, like there is ways to kill mold and stuff like that, because he's terrified of it, right? So, you know, yeah, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, the stuff's not healthy, right? But the fact that you can do something about it's like, oh, okay, you know, kind of demystifies. Like he walks in there, oh my God, the mold's so bad, but he doesn't really know, you know what I mean? Like when it was bad, yeah, you could smell it, but now like you can't smell anything in there hardly at all. Everything's dried out. He even noticed the walls, the humidity, because the walls were really warped from the humidity. You know, I mean, a month ago when I moved in there, you know, like I say, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and obviously my nephew never opened windows, right? They're just those type of people. They either run the air conditioner or run heat. They don't, you know, it's kind of, they rarely open windows. So people, oh, I don't want to let flies in. I'd rather deal with flies than mold, right? So what happens is once I explain, and I showed him the attic, and I showed him the window out there. So now he can visualize the air coming in through the basement, coming up to the main floor, and then getting sucked out the top, right? So now okay, you have to have airflow, and the air dries out the mold. And then I explained what the mold was. It's like a mushroom. It's a spore, a fungus. So like it's neat to be able to do stuff like that and teach somebody that at a young age that get those ideas kind of settled in his brain of that okay, well, this is just a problem that I have to find a solution for, not oh my god, what do I do. uh, so I do that with everything. Like when we get to the bikes next year, um, I'm going to make sure that he knows how to, if his chain comes off, he knows how to fix the chain. I got rid of a few books there, some of the cookbooks. I didn't get rid of them all because some of them are keepsake, but I'm going to go through and like the war books, I got to keep that. The wild game book, I'm going to keep that. The church book, from the local churches and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously I'm going to do that. Brunches and lunches. I don't think I need to. This would be. I don't know what this is. I'll have to read that after. The big cooking thing I'm going to keep. This book, this wouldn't have been my grandmother's. But this book I'm going to keep. The Book of Ireland, I forget where. It's in here somewhere. But anyway, there's. And I broke a bulb. I didn't do it. It was me. Wasn't me. Okay, well. Anyway, it was the A-Trax. Anyway, well, I got a mess to clean up. A little piece of hardwood there. I'm burning it anyway. And then it burned. I almost burned that. I got tons of these things. Yeah, so go through stuff. Get rid of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get that blade. Okay, that fire went down enough. Now I can throw more in it. So I'm going to get that chainsaw cam out and start doing that.